So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened to Mike Lee? Well, as you know, a short time ago, after these horrible attacks in Minnesota, and my thoughts obviously go out to the friends and family members of those who lost their lives, just a terrible, despicable act of violence that took place. And Mike Lee put out a tweet making a joke and a mockery of what took place in Minnesota while the families continue to grieve. This is Mike Lee and what he had to say years ago when Donald Trump first put his name in the ring to try to become the president of the United States. There was a time where Mike Lee was somewhat normal. Listen to what he had to say about Donald Trump years ago.
It's occurred to me on countless occasions today that if anyone spoke to my wife or my daughter or my mother or any of my 5 sisters the way Mr. Trump has spoken to women, I wouldn't hire that person. I wouldn't hire that person, wouldn't want to be associated with that person. And I certainly don't think I'd feel comfortable hiring that person to be the leader of the free world.
Yeah, I agree with Mike Lee. Back in the day when Mike Lee was somewhat normal. Now, back then, Mike didn't think that Trump would become the president of the United States, just like the Marco Rubios of the world and the Ted Cruzes of the world who called him a liar. He'll never, run the Republican Party. They said even J.D. Vance could be the next American mustache man. But now, when he has a stronghold over the Republican Party, they have no backbone. And Mike Lee is a coward. Obviously, that tweet that he put out was despicable and disgusting, and he should be outed from office. But you see, Mike Lee is a Twitter keyboard warrior because there were several members of the media yesterday that were trying to get a statement from him. He could have apologized. He could have said it was in poor taste. He could have apologized to the families. He could have made any statement. But you see, being the coward that Mike Lee is, he ran from the media. This is a clip of several members of the media that were following Mike Lee yesterday in Washington, D.C. after a meeting he had. He dodged the media because he's a coward. Listen to this.
Could you tell us about your conversation with Senator Smith? Do you regret your tweet? Do you stand by the post that you made on X?
Have you had a productive conversation about that post? Was that what the senator wanted to speak to you about?
What did you think of the meeting you just came from?
Silence, crickets, because Mike Lee is a coward. Any man owns mistakes that he has made in his life. I've made plenty of my own, but one thing I have never done is mocked a terrible tragedy like one that took place in Minnesota, and it shouldn't matter what their political affiliation is. And the fact that Mike Lee put out a tweet making light of it as a joke, and even worse, won't answer questions from the media, makes him a despicable coward. That's who Mike Lee is. Where are all the MAGA Republicans out there that are willing to call out Mike Lee? Only a few, because they're also cowards.